Okay, today we're going to be taking a look at the Red 200A, the lantern that got this addiction started. Okay, with all honesty, the two here on the end, I'm probably going to junk both of these, just scrap them out for parts. And ironically enough, it's the two newest ones in the bunch. Today, I think I'm going to redo this one here. It's kind of old. It is a 6 month of 1955. The ventilator is really rough on it, but I do have a period correct one that's just a little bit better shape, not a whole lot, so I'll probably clean this one up and put on it. Start by removing the ventilator nut and the ventilator globe. Okay, I got to looking, and actually I have a burner frame cage that's a lot better shape than what this one is, from another one that I scrapped years ago, so we'll probably end up using this one. Next, we'll remove the generator, 7/16 wrench. Cardboard still looks white. It's like a new generator. Good needle. Yep, definitely been changed. New generator. Let's go ahead and get these parts in the vinegar bowl. And we can use a 7/16 wrench and remove the base nut. Lift off the frame. Okay, up in the top of the cage we have a 5/8 inch bolt that will hold that burner tube in place. Looks like it's going to take a little heat. Once you loosen that nut, all this will just fall out. Got several pieces in there. You get the U-tube, little adapter. Still warm. There's your main burner tube. Not seeing any obstructions in that, so it's clear. And this burner frame looks like it's broke here anyway, so good thing I've got that spare. Anyway, that can be fixed, so I'm not going to trash that. I mean, I can clean that up later if I get in a pinch. There's a couple of washers in here. One on the valve and one where the frame nut goes. Next one, remove the valve wheel, directional disc. Put that screw back in there for safekeeping. Do that. Let's just check this valve. Just turning. Tight but turning. Okay, looks like that valve oil has took on a little bit of heat at some time. Somebody's had a little mishap. We'll be replacing that one. I should be able to pull that collar forward, give it a little squeeze, lift up. Bring it back. Had to turn that pricker lever down. We got a couple of small screws holding this pump on. Pull the pump directly out. Take a look at the pump leather. Really good shape. So I think that'd be good to go. We'll just get that in some meat foot oil. Remove the air stem. Okay, my buddy Steve gifted me these little wax envelopes. I'll put them two little screws from the pump in there for safekeeping so that I don't lose those. Okay, now we can remove the check valve. Rattles, but still gonna go ahead and put that in the vinegar bath. Give it a good clean. Okay, before this next step, always check your fountain, make sure there's no fuel in it, rinse it out. And I mean, it could be dangerous if you have a leak. So, which I have already checked this. I know it's dry. It's been a lot of years without a fuel cap on it. It's got some grit and stuff in the tank. It's bone dry, so I'm not worried about it. But always double check. I don't want to put a whole lot of heat on that, so I'm going to use this little micro torch. Not much more than a cigarette lighter, but it might give us enough heat. Smaller butane torch, you can concentrate the heat right on the bung, nowhere else on the fountain. Place a piece of leather. Brass definitely a little bit tarnished on this one. Always got to dig out my little small wrench set for this. I don't have one of these out handy. Let's say 5/16. It's turning freely. So shouldn't be any obstructions in there. It shouldn't be frozen up, corroded up too bad inside. I'm going to stretch that spring just a little bit, put a little life back in it. Glass and chrome cleaner. With this soft bristle brush. Okay, this paint is pretty well shot. But, I've even took this inside and I let it soak in hot dishwashing liquid, hot water, soaked it. There's not much I can do for it. It's sun baked, and I think a lot of that discoloring might be rust coming up through the paint. So I'm just going to hit this with some Mother's Mag and steel wool and just let her have its own character. Alright, that's about as good as she gets. She's rough, but she's going to look good. She got character. Ventilator is chipped up quite a bit, but that'll just add to the character. Okay, my collar's got some little wrinkles in it, kind of, a little bent out of shape. So I'm going to try to put this in it and roll it across the flat surface and see if I can straighten it out a little bit. That done the trick. Took the wrinkle right out of it. Let's see if we can polish this thing up a little. A little bit better. I don't want to get too carried away on it because this is a 1955 lantern, I think it was, and it's scratched all to pieces and faded, so we don't want this to look too perfect. Start by putting the check valve back in. Put the needle and the spring back inside the valve stem. Five sixteenths. Okay, this pricker lever there is the eccentric block is not froze up, but it is stiff. I want to see if I can heat it just a little bit. See if that'll help it. I think that done the trick. Apply a little bit of thread locker on these threads. Clock that where the valve wheel is going to be directly center over the decal. Now we can put the collar back on. Put the burner frame back. Well, not forget our washers. Okay, with this next step, it's easier to put the generator on now before you put the burner frame on this, and just let it drop straight down over the generator. By the way, I broke the cleaning needle tip off of this, but it'll still work, but it won't have the cleaning feature, but ain't no big deal. If it gets stopped up, which is very rarely, I can take it off, and as little as I burn them, I mean, I can take it off and clean it later if I have to. Hook the needle back into the eccentric block, drop the generator down, tighten it up. We can drop our burner frame back on. Put our 7/16 burner frame nut back on. Okay, I was gonna change out that valve wheel where it's burnt, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'll save my better valve wheels for better lanterns. Put our adapter back in there. Put it in the U-tube. Let's not forget our ventilator bracket. Okay, we can put in our pump. Alright, we got to do something with that bright red fuel cap. That's not working. Put that back on the fount. Tighten it down really tight. So if we turn that screw out, that's loose. Thought I had the camera on. Anyway, I just took some Mother's Mag and some 400 grit sandpaper, or maybe 600, and I just buffed it with that Mother's Mag, and it's still a little darker red, but it's letting the brass shine through, and it's looking a little more antique-y. So it looks better on the lantern now. Okay, that thing didn't even have a gasket in it. Didn't have to burn it out, so I'll apply a little bit of oil. That oil just helps that lubricate that, so that slides on in there and it don't bind up as easy. Don't try to roll with you. So got a good fit there. Check out this vintage can of Coleman fuel. I don't know how old that thing is. I picked up at an estate sale. Look at that price from Sportsman's Unlimited, $2.99. But you wish you still buy it for that price today. All right, I'm going to put a Coleman number 21 on this thing. Preheat that generator. Well, she's burning, but that new Coleman mantle, as soon as I lit it, it split wide open. So I'm not going to put that globe on that with that split mantle. It split about a 1/4 inch split in it. Brand new. Gotta love the newer Coleman stuff. See a 1/4 inch split in it. Brand new mantle, just slid it. Okay, replace that mantle, and this one's looking good. No split so far. But if y'all didn't know it, if you run a mantle with a hole in it like that, it will burn a hot spot in your globe and ruin your globe. So we don't want to do that. There she is in here in the dark. Man, that thing puts out some light for a single mantle. Gotta love the 200A. Alright, if y'all like these kind of videos, hit the like button, share button, subscribe. God bless.